did I wind up in a dumpster? And what does it have to do with the faculty paintball game? And Ecuador? The answer to these questions lies ahead, so be sure to stick through to the end and comment, like, and subscribe. Being in school is hard. So is being a parent. That's why most people recommend against doing both at the same time. But then again, I'm a parent who also happens to be at school all the time. So I know it can be done, but only if both of these things are extremely important to you. Important enough that you're willing to suffer. That's what this video is about. I've challenged 3 teenagers to take care of one child for 1 year. Just like financially, we didn't take a kid. Can 3 teens perform the amazing act of juggling school, sports, clubs, jobs, and everything else that comes with being in high school, all the while being financially responsible for another human being? Will these teens rise to the challenge? Or will they be destined to become deadbeat dads? This is Baron. Baron is a normal human teenager. Baron is a teenager involved in theater, raving, and a bunch of challenging classes. This is Lexi. She plays sports and writes short stories. And this is Rebecca. Rebecca has coded a video game, and she built this. These are busy people, living busy lives, but they've stepped up for the challenge. You see, PCYT's mission is to inspire young people to make an impact. That's how I get into situations like this, and this. And working together, we've raised and donated over $25,000 to charitable causes. But this is me being tired of doing all the work myself. And this is Ecuador, the home of giant turtles and the 8th largest economy in Latin America, which has cut its unemployment rate in half during the 21st century. It's an economy that's on the rise, but unfortunately, not everywhere. And in one neighborhood in particular, there's an entire community of children that have no easy access to food, medical care, or education, and who face very few job options. Or at least, that would be the case except for a school called Refugio. It costs $240 to pay students tuition. And already that probably sounds like a deal, a life-changing education for about the same price as a Nintendo Switch. But kids who enroll in Refugio not only get a future, they're insured 3 daily meals, basic medical care, and a chance to have a better childhood. Friends, mentors, opportunities. So we decided to send 2 kids to Refugio, who for the purpose of this video we'll call Harry and Ron. But it's going to cost about $500, which means to avoid being deadbeat dads, each of my teenagers must raise about $18.50 a month. That may not sound like a lot, but remember, no help from me, completely independent. They come up with the ideas and make them happen. So, did anyone come up with an idea and make it happen?
Today, in order to raise money, I'm going to be mowing 2.5 acres. First things first, we need glasses. We need a hat because sometimes it's pretty sunny outside. Behold, the lawnmower. Alright, we are ready. Okay, I have finished mowing the lawn. It has been about 2 hours, I want to say. This is how I did. Not my best work, but
So Rebecca's first idea was to mow lawns, which provided 2 months of support for a child in need. Then she did it again. And as for Baron and Lexi? Well, as we established, balancing parenthood and school is hard, especially when you have after-hours activities like sports and clubs. But at our next PCYT meeting, all 3 of our heroes came up with a really smart idea. Maybe we should create a safety net to ensure that no matter whether they succeeded or failed, we wouldn't let our godchildren down. So that's when we held the TAC Day. By selling passes to get out of school dress code for a day, we set out to raise enough money to ensure that no matter what, we wouldn't let Harry and Ron down. Our champions all volunteered and gave of their own money and encouraged their friends to do the same. This money didn't officially count towards their balances, but hopefully it would be good enough to make sure that we had help for Harry and Ron no matter what, which is a good thing because it wasn't long until we received our first letters.
Queridos padrinos Sala, queridos, gracias por su apoyo. De la escuela y me voy al refugio.
After reading these letters, Lexi, Baron, and Rebecca knew they couldn't let them down, and they knew they needed a new idea. And, well, one member of PCYT knew that the church had raised hundreds of dollars for charity by collecting scrap metal, so we decided that this might be a good way to inspire our whole school to help take care of Harry and Ron. So we asked the school to start selling aluminum cans instead of plastic bottles, donate old broken stuff, and each of our heroes made a metal collection bin and started a competition to see who could collect the most. Lexi's dad is a park ranger, and she had him scouring the grounds for old scrap they wanted to get rid of. Rebecca pledged to eat SpaghettiOs for 2 meals a day just to accumulate the metal cans for her bin. Baron could sometimes be found scrounging through garbage cans for precious metal that had been discarded. And yet, despite our best efforts, I wasn't sure that a penny here or there was going to amount to anything unless we really inspired the community to start making it rain metal. While I wasn't going to directly help them raise money, I thought that maybe I could indirectly help them by doing what I love, making videos. And that's why I crawled into a dumpster.
Hi, it's 2026, and this is about how it's going. If you have a little brother or sister, I want you to picture them when they're about 5 or 6 years old. And now, I want you to picture them on the street, without parents, without food, without hope. Imagine wanting a job, but not being able to find one because where you live, there are only enough jobs to employ like 40%. Imagine being that little kid and knowing that you or your loved ones, if you're lucky enough to have them, we're very much in danger of
be victimized by terrible crimes.
Knowing that a kid could be alone in a place like that, wouldn't you want to protect them? Well, as it turns out, you can. And all you have to do is throw away your trash in a different way.
This is worth about 2 to 5 cents.
A string of broken Christmas lights, that's 30 cents.
And this? Oh, God, that's not worth anything.
A few cents probably doesn't sound like much, but if everyone in our school drank 1 soda and then threw the cans into one of our 3 metal scrap, it would be worth $15, which would ensure the 2 kids could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's 3 square meals for 2 children.
So you can enjoy some LaCroix.
And all that we're asking from you is to pick a bin.
There's all sorts of ways that you can make the world a better place, some big and some small. But together, we can all make a difference.
And since our mission is for videos to inspire teenagers to get involved in community service like me, I have to point out that shortly after making this video, my protege, Chris, also made a video about rummaging through garbage, which for some reason got more views than mine. Is that a good thing? Or, anyways, the students rose to the challenge, and each week the bins look like this. Families donated large things like washers and refrigerators, and these guys even helped me load up the metal on collection day. And you see all of this? The combined total of 40 days of efforts by the entire school resulted in $150. Yikes, that was a little underwhelming. That was almost enough to adopt either Harry or Ron, but we were quite a ways off from being able to adopt both, and it was already getting close to the end of the school year. I wasn't quite sure we were going to make it. But these things have a funny way of working out, and right when I began to lose hope, something incredible happened. We got to meet someone who actually grew up in this neighborhood, someone who attended the school. Because of Refugio, he made a better life for himself, became a citizen of New Zealand. And now he was coming to America to thank the people who helped him, particularly a woman named Mrs. Goff, who helped bring knowledge of this community to Virginia. And as it happened, Mrs. Goff knew about what Baron and Lexi and Rebecca were doing for his old school. And when she told Christian about it, he asked if he could come see us. And that's how we met.
Now, sir, please give her a nice round of applause.
When Mrs. Goff first met him, he didn't have much.
And there was nothing there except a pipe that was shaped like this, and that was their goal was for playing soccer.
She told us about her first efforts to help Christian and his community.
And like you, they cared about those kids. They wanted to do something for them. So I told them, go home and don't take your mom's good stuff. But if there's an extra spoon or an extra bowl that doesn't match, we'll stick them in a box and nail them down.
And then it was Christian's turn to tell us his story. The story of a childhood where he struggled to find the basics.
I remember for a long time ago, I stayed in the refugio for 10 years. I remember my mom abandoned when I had 9 years. I live with my sister. The refugio provide food, clothes, education. But now my life has changed.
You see, because of his education, he's able to get a competitive job in the Ecuadorian military and start a family of his own and move to New Zealand, where he's become a prosperous businessman. But he couldn't have done it without a little help. And both he and Mrs. Goff were so impressed and so grateful of what a bunch of teenagers were trying to do for others who still needed help.
The rest is history. What you are doing now is you are continuing to help those very kids as young people, and that is so, so commendable. Without you and your caring, he would not be here. He would not have a life.
Having come face to face with the reality that they really were making a difference, Baron, Lexi, and Rebecca redoubled their efforts. Sometimes it was mowing the lawn, sometimes it was bringing in a few more cans. But the very next week, we'd raised enough to officially adopt Harry. And we wrote him a letter.
Hola, y tengo 17 años. Tengo muchos hermanos, pero soy la más joven. Me gusta. I love learning new things and using those skills for other subjects. Most importantly, I love acting and I love talking to people.
We really want to meet you and are a little sad we can't. We think you are super nice and fun.
I hope this helps.
Gracias por su carta. Thank you for sending us a letter, and we hope that you have an amazing day.
And I thought of another indirect way I could help. See, I had a bunch of metal that I had been collecting anyways. Since she had a commanding lead, it wouldn't be particularly interesting to donate the metal to Rebecca. So I thought to myself, why not make Lexi and Baron compete for my garbage in a series of events I'll call the Trash Olympics. The Trash Olympics consisted of 2 games of skill and 1 game of chance. For her game of skill, Lexi chose horse, which she dominated quite easily. Baron's game of skill was Minecraft, where he beat Lexi like a dead horse. And speaking of horses, the tie-breaking game of chance was horse blinky. So, yeah, Baron won my extra medal, although Lexi still wound up with more medal in the end. Baron's got this much medal, and this is Lexi's medal.
Oh, it's a truck.
I got a whole truck.
And something else was happening too. Even as the scrap metal drive came to an end, the community kept donating. I left out one scrapping bin, and without fail it filled up every week. And since each bin is worth about $10, that meant that slowly but surely those funds were still raising. But would it be enough to save Ron? Even as I record this, there are only 4 days left in the school year. So, no. And is that it? We just failed? It would just prove that most teenagers aren't ready to be parents? Well, most teenagers aren't ready to be parents. I don't think anyone's ready to be a parent until it actually happens. If you're a good person, you just sort of rise to the challenge and do your best. So do I think these guys are deadbeat dads? Of course not. Because they did rise to the challenge, and they did do their best. And without any help from me, they fully raised enough money to change one child's future for the better. And remember way back in November when we sold out of uniform passes as a backup plan in case we didn't get enough money? Well, I never told them this, but on that day we raised enough money to adopt not one, but both of our godchildren. Because while this was a challenge and an experiment for our community, I wanted to make sure that both Harry and Ron were getting our help as soon as possible. And so without telling our heroes, I quietly made the donation all the way back in January, so Harry and Ron could start benefiting from our sponsorship right away.
Lexi, you remember?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
What I wanted to tell you was that sent you an update. So we have an updated Liam picture.
Oh my goodness, he's playing chess.
And he also sent you a note. So I just want to read the note to you real fast. All right. So here's what it says: Dear Padrino, that means godmother. All right. I got a 19 out of 20 on my exam.
He's so smart.
I miss you a lot. I'm doing well with my grades. I'm so appreciative of your love. Thank you for caring about me. I love you very much. I'm in 3rd grade. I hope things go well for you and take care.
Oh, I love him. Oh, he's so smart and he plays chess now? What?
There you go. That's it. Just one of those.
No one gets through this life without a little help. There's nothing wrong with asking for or receiving help, especially if later on you grow up to be the sort of person who wants to keep helping others wherever you go. And these teenagers, these amazing, strange, inspiring people, they led our entire school to donate so much metal that we were still stomping it at the end of the year picnic. Because of them, our school might just be raising $10 a week for Ecuador forever. And even as Lexi and some of my other beloved senior members of PCYT graduate and head off to inspire new communities, they've inspired me to pledge PCYT's continued support to Harry and Ron next year too. They may not be perfect parents. I might not be either. But we do the best we can with what we've got. Because isn't that what family's really about? About being able to count on someone else's love, even when things get messy. But wait, what about the paintball game? Well, that's actually a sneak preview of a future video about how the same amazing community that came together to adopt these kids also raised thousands of dollars to feed the hungry right here in Virginia. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that video and tons of other exciting upcoming content like our Minecraft in VR and Police vs. Firefighter Olympics.